the shot again. Awesome. We got that out the way. You know who I am, where I come from. So now it's time to talk about expectations. Let me say this first. Anything I ask you to do, either remotely or in this room, there is a musical reason behind it. What do I mean? These expectations are also expectations that you will need to follow if you decide to be a musician. So if you decide to go in the studio and record, if you decide to join the band, if you decide to join a choir or a singing group, these same expectations will apply and those in charge will expect you to follow them. Okay? So listen closely and here we go. Expectations for remote music class. So this is going to be a little bit different, okay? Music for me is usually a very engaging activity. But with these special times, we can't necessarily be that engaging. So we got to make some adjustments. But a lot of the same principles apply. When you come to me, I expect each and every one of you to be a musician. Read this. You are a musician in this class. I say that because when you're with me, my job is to teach you what it is that I do. Okay? I am a musician. I consider myself a musician who teaches. So when you are in here, I want you to have that mindset that I'm going to be a musician. Now, when you leave me and you go to one of your other classes or you're in another special, you're not. Okay? That's your time. But when you're with me, you are a musician. First part of class is going to be a review. We're going to review what we went over from last class. Next part, we're going to deal with whatever the main topic is, and we're going to really go through it and help you really grasp what we're talking about. And then last, at the end of class, I'm going to give you an opportunity to explore, experiment, and practice what we just talked about. Will also be the same setup we will have when you come into the music room. We're just kind of flipping it around for remote learning. Now, all the lessons that you're going to get are going to be videotaped, okay? So you'll have time to watch it in advance. It's for your benefit if you watch those videos before you come to music class, because at least that way you'll have an idea of what we'll be talking about, okay? I will show some of it. I probably will have a class where I'll show the video, but I want you guys to take the initiative and do it on your own. All right, moving on. Online expectations. You've probably seen these. We're going to talk about them here, and I'm going to talk about how they apply to music. Be on time. Log on a few minutes before class. Very important, okay? All future musicians, being timely is very important, especially when you're talking about performing, going into the studio. Everything runs on time. So it's very important that you're on here ready to go when your specials gets ready to start. Presentation. This should not be a problem because by the time you come to see me, you should have already been up. But yes, please dress. Please dress appropriately for when you get ready to join music class. Sit up and make sure that I can see you on the camera. Chat responsibly, okay? Raise your hand in the chat box if you have a question, okay? But if not, you can chat. You can type your question in the chat box as well. Please, please, please keep it responsible, okay? I'm one of the. Well, I can't speak for other teachers, but I know for me, I love to have fun. This is the funnest thing for me to do, and I love to have fun with my students, okay? But we got to stay responsible, okay? Be in a quiet place. Okay, make sure that when we're having class, you have a place where you can sit and you can focus and listen in on what's being instructed and shown and taught to you. Mute yourself when the teacher or another student is talking. This is so important, not just in a respectful setting, but this is important from a musical setting. If you don't listen, you can't play. Because how you know what to play if you don't listen? In music, a lot of it has to deal with being able to hear and to listen and to use what you're hearing from your ears to make the appropriate adjustments and actions. That's music. So you have to learn to be quiet and listen and not always talk. So, very important. Communication, speak clearly. Look up when you are speaking. Stay on topic. Yes, please stay on topic. We're not talking about video games. We're not talking about yesterday's shows. We're not talking about any of that stuff on the sidebar chat. Keep it on topic, okay? Now, I may take it off topic because we may just be talking and just having a good time during one of our classes. But when we're talking music, let's keep it music. Be prepared. Make sure your computer's charged, cameras on, and if you need headphones, make sure you have them. Participation. This is huge. Be focused, be attentive, be an active participant. Okay? I'm going to tell you, that's one that's been very hard for me, and it's something I've had to practice on. And it's something that if you have trouble with it, you can do it. Okay? My class, the way I grade very heavily on participation. If you try, you will always pass my class. Always. Because as a musician, we have to learn that we're not always going to be successful. A lot of times, as a musician, we are going to fail. We are going to fall and mess up and make mistakes. But we know to get right back up and try again. So I want you to make sure you do that. Stay focused, be attentive, be an active participant. These are all things, if you ever plan to be a musician, that you will need. I promise you. And be respectful, okay? Be kind, be considerate. As performers, as musicians, sometimes it can be very difficult to perform in front of your peers. So I'm going to institute, and we'll talk about this more in the coming weeks, a zero tolerance policy for disrespect. And what I mean by that is, if someone's performing or someone is doing something, we will not say anything disrespectful or hurtful to that person. I'm not going to get into more of that now, but just keep in mind, we're going to be respectful to everybody in music.
Those are my expectations. But before we move on, I got to say this. Each of you at one point or another will not follow some of my expectations. It's going to happen, okay? And let me say this, and listen very clearly. That is okay. Why is it okay? Because as a musician, I can tell you, we'll make mistakes all the time, but we love mistakes because when we make a mistake, we know what we've done and we can make it better. So next time we do it even better. Mistakes are all they are is a learning lesson. It teaches you how to be better. So when you don't follow one of my expectations, guess what? It's a learning opportunity for you. As long as we understand what you did and how we can fix it, we'll move on. There's no problems. Issues come when you either don't listen to the advice that I'm giving you on how to fix it, or you are making the actual choice to break that expectation. Meaning, I know what Mr. Stokes wants me to do. I'm just not going to do it because I don't want to. Now, that second one, that's a problem, okay? But a lot of times we forget, things happen in the heat of things, and stuff happens. So, as long as we got that understood, we should be good, all right? So, we're going to have a lot of fun. I'm telling you, yeah.
Okay, so here are our goals for the year. We're going to read, write, perform using 16th through whole note values, including syncopated rhythms, dotted half notes, in 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4 meter. Sing a variety of repertoire with accurate rhythm and pitch. Yes, we will be singing. Appropriate expressive qualities, good posture, and breath control. Perform on instruments. Variety repertoire with accurate rhythm and pitch. Appropriate expressive qualities, good posture, and breath control. If you just kind of peep that, it's basically the same thing, only with instruments. Improvise, compose, and arrange music. Identify elements of music, including tonality, dynamics, tempo, and meter. Differentiate between melody and harmony. Identify patterns of whole and half steps in a major scale. Read, write, and perform diatonic melodies in the major scale on the treble staff.
Mr. Jordan, can I see you in your office for a second, please? Ms. Jordan, can I see you in the office? Thank you.
Now, you guys may look at that and say, Mr. Stokes, how are we going to learn all that stuff? I don't even know what half that stuff means. I don't know. Blah, blah. If you're doing that, calm down. Take a deep breath. Most of this stuff, a lot of you kind of already know. And a lot of it's very easy, okay, because I'm going to break it down, all right? A lot of it's stuff you really don't even realize you're doing already. And my job is just for you just to clarify what exactly it is that you're doing, okay? When I went to study music, I've been doing music almost for 20 years before I actually went to study to become a teacher. And basically everything that the instructor was telling me was stuff I've been doing. He just put a name to it. So that's kind of what this will be. We're just going to put a name to a lot of this stuff, okay? But you will understand this, all right? So this is your assignment for this week. You're going to complete the form music instructions. I got to fix that. So you're going to tell me about yourself, and all of the instructions are there. Answer to the best of your abilities. But if you would like to do something a little extra, because I know I have some creative 4th and 5th graders out there, and I'm excited to meet all of you, you can create a Google slide presentation on yourself. So show me some pictures, write a little bit about yourself, let me know who you are, or if I got some people who are creative with recordings and video, you can send me a video or audio recording that shows your personality. Now, I got to say this. If you're going to send me something, it's got to be appropriate. I do not want to hear inappropriate words. I don't want to see inappropriate gestures. I don't want to see any of that. I will disqualify any of those, okay? But something fun, lighthearted that shows who you are. Okay, so once again, I'm so excited to be your music teacher. We're going to have a lot of fun. But to have fun, you've got to stay on task. You got to listen and heed what I'm trying to get you guys to do. And I promise you, it'll be one of the funnest music classes you'll ever have. Okay? All right.